Hello everybody, once again welcome to our HTML and CSS course tutorial series. Now if you are new here, this is what we did in our previous video regarding to how to create an interactive calculator. So we started with this where we did this, and then don't worry, I'll be leaving a link here where you can just go and just take a recap of that and join us here. Now today's segment is we looking at how we can use CSS, okay, to enhance our calculator that indeed we created. And how do we do that? It's very simple. Let's look at how that has been done. So I'll switch straightly to my text editor. Before then, I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So I am back now. So the next thing I'd like us to look at is very simple. So as you can see, this is what I'd like us to look at now. After that, to write your CSS, you need to make sure you put your cursor in between. CSS, if you are writing inline CSS, don't worry, I'll be explaining that as the course proceed. I'll be explaining that. If you're writing inline CSS, you need to make sure you put the cursor in between the header. So after the title, between the header, that is the open tag of the header and then the closing tag of the header. So then you bring the CSS, you just write in between, you type style, okay? You type your style, which you can see here, you press enter. So in your style, so you bring the cursor, you press enter. So here I'm not linking a sheet, so I don't need type and then the CSS. So might as well just take this thing off here. You can maintain it, you can just take it off, okay? So maybe some of you are using Sublime Text or whatever, so using Notepad++, so you can choose to take it off. Then you have this, okay? So it's okay and it will work. Or just though you can also maintain this and it will also work any which way, okay? So I'm doing this, so this is what we are doing, okay? So press enter. So in between, I like to enhance my calculator with a color, okay? So I'll bring body, so I'll call up my body, and then I'll bring, how do you call it, my current bracket. Now in between my current bracket, I'll just type background because I want to use a background. So I'll bring background, and the background color, let's see, I like to use red, okay? So I type red. So after typing red, okay, after typing red, when I save this, okay, and I go to my browser. So as I am in my browser and I refresh, check what happened. You can see the background becomes red, okay? So you can use CSS to enhance. Now let me show you something. I want us to use a particular background color, so let's come here and let me go to Google, where I talk about how you can get color attribute. So far as colors are concerned, I'll leave a link here where you can just go and watch, or maybe don't worry, I'll leave the link in the description where you can get access to it. So you just come to Google and type HTML, okay, color code, COLOR, color code, which is already here, color codes, okay? Then to open this very one, HTML color codes, only click to give you variety of color codes where you can pick your colors from. So you can see this is what I have here. So when I scroll down, I want to use a particular color, like kind of Armstrong color, you know, like move as is no move is move. Let's come, this is okay. Like kind of movish, not movish. So see, so that's that. You can use that color and it will be nice. So let's say I want to use that color, so let me come deep a little bit. So this is the color. So I want to use this color code, which is kind of like dark blue, or kind of, so I'll select and kind of copy it, come to my text editor, then in my text editor I'll just put the cursor here, backspace what is there, and paste my color code. And then when I save, I go to my browser again, go to my calculator, and then I refresh. You can see, voila, I have it there, like kind of, okay, that blue. So nice. Let's move on. So then let's move on. So the next thing I like to do is to enhance my console, okay, using my like the console as in the bottoms. So I go by course style and bring my curly bracket. So in between, I'll go by box, and I'll go to box sizing. The box sizing, I like it to be border box, where I'll go by saying hyphen vacant. Okay, so where I'll go by saying it should be box also, box, and it should be box sizing. Okay, box sizing. Okay, box sizing, that's it. Then I made my column, and I like the border. The border should be box. Okay, so I have my border is box. Let's come to the modal size. Then I come to moves hyphen. Let's say box, most box, and the most box sizing should be okay, and should be, that is the border. Okay, also should be box. Nice, done. Okay, so after that, let's save it. Let me come to the width, I mean the wrapping of the whole stuff, where I want it to wrap to, because I want to center everything, the bottoms. Okay, so I'll go by saying dots my wrap, and bring my curly bracket, press enter. So in my curly bracket, I'll use the width. So my width, and I want my width should be 400 pixels. Okay, then I'll go by saying my margin. My margin also should be auto. Okay, auto there. Then I'll go by saying my heading or my header. Anyway, my header also should be auto. Okay, then I'll go by saying my padding, the space in between my stuff, the padding also should be 15 pixels, will be fine for me. 15 pixels. And my background color. Okay, so my background color. Now all we are doing is we want to then move this. Let me show you something. Let me go back to, so I've saved it. So just click on file and just click on save to save the changes. So when I come to this and I refresh, I'm working on my button. Okay, control. When I refresh, see what happens. See, it has moved the whole thing. But I want to give a background color to this thing here. Okay, as I did in the other ones, I gave it kind of like yellow, orange, like Armstrong color orange, because our logo is dot dot dot. So to do just that, it's just simple. Where I'll come here and then bring my background color. So background. So the background color, I want to use a particular background color, which is hash FE9, where I show you where you can get all these colors. So you can just go there and you can get all these colors there. So basically, then I click on save and then come to my browser and refresh, guess what? Voila, this is what I have. So how cool is that? Okay, so that is it. But as we are done, let's kind of resize the whole thing and look so to look very nice. So the next thing, look, we're working on the inputs here. Okay, all the inputs here, let's work on them. So to work on the inputs, which is the bottoms, okay, the 9 7 plus all, so that leads to align it to align centered nicely. So to do that, I will again come down to my CSS where I have here and go ahead and then press my enter and bring my inputs. So my inputs here, I don't want input in caps, so inputs. Okay, thank you for allowing me to do that. So I want my inputs, so I'll bring my bracket and I'll type. So input type equal to text, then I'll bring my curly bracket, sorry about that, curly bracket, then I'll just bring my width. So in my width I'll type 100% because I want it, the width of my input should be 100%. Now to shift to the, for instance, when we come to this side, and I come to my input and I refresh. Now let me save it first. So let me do my saving first. And I come and I refresh. You realize that you see my input where I want the display sheet is as open wide. So basically that is just that open wide. Now as it has open wide, so that's what I wanted. Let's work on this very side where I will come to my codes. In between the codes, I'll go ahead and bring the padding. Okay, so I want to, the padding should be 10 pixels. Okay, then after the padding I'll bring my fonts. Okay, so my font size, so font sizing, well, my font size should be let's say 21. Okay, 21 is okay, 21 pixels. Then I'll come to my font width, so font width, like the width of the font, I want it to also be bold. Okay, then we come to my margin. Okay, my margin should be top, so if my margin is top, that is, let's do it, margin column top column should be 20 pixels. Okay, then after that let me do my borders. So I want my border, okay, my border should be kind of like rounded, kind of, okay, I want it to be rounded, so I'll use my rounded, and I want the size of my border should be 5 pixels. So when it's 5 pixels, might to just save it. So when I come to my browser and I refresh, guess what? Voila, you can see my display is rounded nicely. Okay, it's not a rectangle, it's kind of rounded shape. Okay, so after that, the next thing I like us to deal to it is this. So what I'll do is that I'll bring the mouse pointer here, and that is what I'm going to work on my inputs, my buttons. Okay, so I'll go again by saying input, and then in the inputs I'll go by saying type. Okay, type, and then in the type I'll bring what type of type I'm working on. Bottoms. Okay, so I'll bring my bottom. Okay, then I'll bring my current bracket. So now in between bracket I'll go by saying width. Okay, so width, and I want the width should be 89 pixels, so that'll be okay for me. And then let's move to padding. So I want the padding should also be, let's say 10 pixels. Then I want the font size. The font size should be 12 pixels. Then I also want, how do you call it, the borders, okay, of my bottoms should rounded will be fine for me. So beautiful. And then should be 5 pixels. Okay, nicely. Then what I want to do is that now when I save this, when I click on file and click on save, or file and click on save, and I go to my browser and I refresh, this is my browser. When I click on refresh and see, my buttons are nice. Now let me zoom it, because the zoom is kind of let me zoom. So you click on the dot here on your browser, then you click on zoom, you press the arrow here, so at least you see your calculator display. So that is the rounded stuff I just did here. So it's kind of rounded, okay, nicely. So that's my calculator. So now click on 9 plus, okay, let me take it off again, delete. Let's go, let's say 5 plus 5, and I click on equal to give me 10. Okay, so it's just nice, it's kind of interesting. Now let's work on the delete. I want the delete to be wide displayed here. It should be wide displayed here. So to do that, I'll just come back to my text editor. Okay, put the cursor at the endpoint here, press enter. Then I'll bring, remember I gave the delete an ID known as del. Okay, so I'll bring my hash and then go DELL. That is how I name the delete, where I'll bring my column bracket, press enter, and I'll say, I'll go like width. Okay, so I want the width should be 100%, so 100 percent, nicely. So I'm done. So I have to just save, and then come to my calculator, my browser, and then click on refresh, and then voila, it's done. Okay, so that is just that. Now to finish this, let me zoom this a little bit. Now to finish this, let me zoom in to 100%, so that some of you say it's 100% now. To finish this, I like to put like the previous one, where we put a logo at the top and then the name caustic calculator. That's what I want us to do now. Now how can I put image at the top of my calculator and start? Very simple. Don't worry, I'll be taking you guys through each one after the other. To do this, that's just simple. Now what I'd like you to do is go ahead to your text editor. Now scroll down to where you have your body. Okay, so beside, on top of your body this way, just press enter. Now you can just go ahead, but first you need to make sure the image you want to use is in the folder in which your web page is. So when I come to my folder, so when I come to my folder, this is my folder, there's nothing else. Let me pick the picture. Okay, so I'm going to pick the picture. Where's my picture? My picture might be on my desktop. Okay, let me open the old one where the picture is. Okay, this is the picture. So I'll copy it, go to desktop, and then come to HTML CSS. then come to my calculator where I have my htdoc paste. So this is it. Now let me view it so you guys will see what I'm talking about. So this is it. Now remember I talked about file extension, so the image have to be in the folder in which the HTML is. So this is the image. So when I right click, for instance, and then click on properties, I'll see the file extension of the image. So when I right click here, and you can see there's the image here, click on properties, you see that the dialog box will display on the screen giving me details about the image. The name of the image is logo1 and is PNG file. So as this PNG file, might suggest go ahead. So remember, try and make sure the image is in the folder in which the HTML file is. Okay, so basically that is just that. So now let's come here. So what I'll do is I'll just go straight to my here where the body is. So in between the body, might suggest bring the attribute name image. Okay, so image, so the image source is logo, L-O, is it logo or lolo? Let me check. Okay, it's logo1, so L-O-G-O-1, so logo1, so dot png, so dot png. Then after that I'll just click on file and click on save. So when I come to my browser, for instance, and then I refresh it, you see it's so big in such a way that look at how it is. But I like to center this image. So to do that, I'll go back to my text editor. Let me show you another trick in using this attribute. Put the cursor just beside the body, press enter, and use an attribute called center. Okay, there's it. Now copy the close tag of the center here, cut it, bring it somewhere here, press enter, paste, save it, and then when it comes to your browser and you refresh, you'll see it to be at the center, but it's too big. So what would we do? Let's go back to the text editor. Now put the cursor where we have the image. Okay, just here, press the space bar and type width, and let the width be, let's say 12%. Okay, 12%. Then save it, then bring the mouse pointer, and then you refresh, and then you have it nicely. Okay, now let's move ahead. Let me show you something very interesting. Now here I want to put the name here like caustic calculator or Armstrong calculator, any which way. So to do that, I'd like you to just go ahead and go to the text editor. So as in the text editor, so go ahead, put the cursor at the end point of the image here, press enter, then you just bring your header 1, heading 1, and then in between the header just type cost, okay, you can do it Armstrong calculator any which way. So Armstrong calculator. Okay, then after that you click on file and you click on save. When you come to your browser, for instance, and then you refresh, you can see it will be there nicely. But the funny thing is it is black, so you can't see the beauty of it. So for it to work on the color scheme, just come back. Now put a cursor where we have the header here. In between the header, we are going to use another style. You can even code it in the style and it will work perfectly. Okay, so if you want to code this in the style, let me show you this and I'll show you the other one. So just press enter, then just type style. When you type style, you go ahead and then just type, let's say, a color. That will be color, color, and then go by saying white. Okay, white. Okay, white, and then you save. So the moment you save and you come to your browser, and then you refresh, voila, it is there. Now another method one can also use is that, let me take off this and show you how we can code it in the CSS, inline CSS on top. This was its inline also as well. So let me show you how is to do this. Now to do this also is very simple. Just screw up. I don't want to screw up, don't worry, this very side, just press enter. And when you press enter, just type header, like heading 1, that's all. And bring the curly bracket here, press enter, and just type your color axis, 𝐒𝐤𝐲𝐻, and then you type your white there nicely, and it will work perfectly. Okay, so white, and then save. Now remember, when you come here and you refresh again, it's still giving you white. Now when I take it off, when I take this thing off here, cut, Ctrl+X to save, back to my browser, refresh, you will see it's black. So now go back and repeat what I just did, which is call the header, and then you save, bring the mouse pointer to here, and you refresh, you have that. So basically that is just that, and this is our calculator. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.